here's something that I believe most federal employees should be doing, and the reality is they're not. Most federal employees should be contributing to the Roth TSP. This is Cooper back again from FedRetirementPlanning.com, and let me tell you some reasons why you should be contributing to the Roth Thrift Savings Plan. You want to hear a pretty crazy statistic? Okay, so out of Roth and traditional IRAs, this is IRAs, they're similar to TSPs, it's just kind of what's available to those that are outside of the TSP. Out of the trillions of dollars that are invested in IRAs, only 8% is invested in Roth IRA accounts. 8% of the $1 trillion, I think it's somewhere around 660 billion or so, which seems like just an astronomical number, but when you know that, there's trillions, hundreds of trillions of dollars invested in IRAs, then it's like, okay, that's not as big of a deal. When we look at that and we compare that to the Roth TSP and traditional TSP, people just simply aren't utilizing it enough. And I want to make it clear that most of you should be using the Roth TSP. Now, the Roth TSP has only been introduced 6 years or so ago. In 2012, it was introduced to the federal employees that you could invest in a Roth TSP. Now, there's been a lot of problems because a lot of people look at the Roth TSP and they say, it's the same as the Roth IRA, but the fact of the matter is the Roth TSP is very different from the Roth IRA. Now, does that mean it's, inferior? I'd say it's a little bit inferior, but that doesn't mean that it's not good enough to use. So one myth I often hear with the Roth TSP is, Cooper, I make too much money to invest in the Roth TSP. Well, that's incorrect. You may make too much money, what's known as MAGI, Modified Adjusted Gross Income. You may have too much income to qualify to invest in the Roth IRA, but that doesn't mean you can't qualify to invest in the Roth TSP. In fact, any federal employee that has the TSP available to them can invest in the Roth TSP no matter how much money you make, okay? You could be, making millions of dollars a year, or you could be making, $30,000 a year. You'd still be able to invest in the Roth TSP. Now, here's the #1 reason why I think most of you should be investing in the Roth TSP. It's because your income tax bracket is going to change over your lifetime. And statistically, it's been shown that most people's tax brackets increase. They pay more taxes over time than they do when they're younger, okay? So you start off working, you're not really making a lot of money, you get older, you increase up the corporate ladder, you start getting paid more, you're at a higher scale, and your tax bracket's higher. You retire, all of a sudden you have all this retirement income, you have, your pension coming in, Social Security, all these different things, and you could be in an even higher tax bracket. That's the reason that the Roth TSP is beneficial, because Roths are paid, the tax is paid when you invest, not when you pull it out. Okay, here's the thing, if your tax bracket, the amount that you paid was going to be the same over your entire lifetime, there wouldn't be a big difference between the Roth TSP and the traditional TSP, okay? But the fact is, most of you, pretty much all of you, are going to experience a fluctuation in your tax bracket, and most of you, it's going to increase over your career, okay? If you're less than 5 years out from retirement, then a Roth TSP, if you haven't invested in it yet, is probably not very beneficial. But if you're somebody who, is just starting or been in for a little while, the Roth TSP is a great program to be invested in and something that you need to be taking advantage of. Okay, so which one of you should be in the Roth TSP? Who of you should invest in the TSP? Well, I've got a couple basically criteria. If you meet these criteria, you should probably be in the Roth TSP. The first one is you expect to be in a higher tax bracket later on in life. Okay, so you expect to be in a higher tax bracket, or the Roth TSP could be advantageous if you were going to be in the same tax bracket, okay? Because there's some things in there that, they offer within the Roth TSP that are advantageous to you. The second one is you don't want to take an RMD at 70.5, okay? Now, most of you should not want to take an RMD. An RMD is a required minimum distribution. This is where they say, okay, federal employee, you are required to take this required minimum distribution. And this isn't just for federal employees. This You know, people who are investing in traditional IRAs, they have to do the same thing, where you have to take a portion out of your TSP or portion out of your IRA, whatever the IRS basically says that you have to. It's percentage based, and if you don't take it, you basically lose 50% of whatever you were supposed to take. So it's a huge penalty, something you don't want to miss. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If you invest in the Roth TSP, you are going to have to take an RMD, unless you decide to transfer that Roth TSP to a Roth IRA. You see, they call it a Roth TSP and it's got the same name as a Roth IRA, but they're different, okay? And one of the big differences is a Roth IRA doesn't have a required minimum distribution. A Roth TSP, for those of you that invest in the TSP, you do have a required minimum distribution. That said, they will allow you to transfer your Roth TSP into a Roth IRA before 70.5, and you will be able to avoid the RMD, okay? Big advantage there, okay? These are things that you need to be thinking about when you're investing in the TSP, in the Roth TSP, or looking at the Roth IRA. Okay, this has been Cooper with FedRetirementPlanning.com. Hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions on this or any other topics, let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.